God has done great things. For over 150 years, First Baptist Forney has seen God move. We have seen thousands of lives changed. God has been changing the world by faith of the people of this church, and He is still doing this today. It's amazing to think that a little over 150 years ago, two faithful pastors decided to start a church in the middle of nowhere, and through God's faithfulness, it has grown to nearly 7,000 members. God has truly done great things. But how did we get here, to the church we are today? Let's take a look back. Texas joined the United States, and the first settlers to Brooklyn, what is now known as Forney, began to settle this area. 20 years later, in 1868, two Baptist missionary preachers by the names of James Vance and Austin Mannion would plant the seed that would later grow to become First Baptist Forney. First Baptist Forney would have its first pastor by the name of R.F. Butler. From 1876 to 1882, our church purchased an unfinished building that the Church of Christ had started. With the building's completion, First Baptist Forney became the first denominational church in the town. Forney was incorporated in 1884 and would start to grow quickly as it was ripe for cotton production. In the 43 years from 1875 to 1918, 14 pastors would step in and help lead a young, growing church, never knowing the impact they would have on generations to come. In the summer of 1918, shortly after church members gathered to donate $6 to purchase street lights near the church, a thunderstorm rolled in and a bold streak of lightning hit the wood frame church, burning it completely to the ground. Even though members did not have a physical building, that didn't hinder them from gathering together to worship. They would meet in various houses and hold services at the schoolhouse until a new church was built. And in one short year, the church members came together and built a new brick building on South Bodark Street. Throughout the ups and downs of this young church, God was doing great things. Over the next 17 years, our church would be led by 4 different pastors. One of those men, L.M. Joines, would pastor our church through one of the darkest times in its history.
A date which will live in infamy.
Due to World War II, the town of Forney came to a standstill and church membership dropped to 403. Then Pastor J.H. Stanley would take the baton from Joines, and through his leadership over the next decade, the church grew to 806 members. In 1960, Forney began to grow again thanks to Interstate 20. It became the main highway through the town. With this new expansion coming to Forney, the church also saw a resurgence of growth. Reverend Jerry Griffin led the congregation for over 3 decades and would lead the church through several building campaigns, including the building of the downtown campus in 1972. Under Brother Jerry's leadership, the church saw membership jump from 604 in 1960 to over 2,000 in 1989. Forney had approximately 4,000 residents at that time. In 1993, Brother Jerry moved on to a new area of ministry after 33 years of faithful service to First Baptist Forney. Taking his place behind the pulpit was Dr. Jimmy Pritchard. He came to serve as pastor in 1994. As Forney continued to grow, our church was met with a tough decision to stay downtown or relocate to an area with more room to expand. In 1996, the church would vote to relocate to its present location, and through Vision 2000, in just 3 short years, construction would begin on the new worship center. In June of 2001, the first service was held in the new sanctuary, while the downtown campus was still being utilized for Sunday school and other church events. In August of 2017, we broke ground on our new multi-use worship and gymnasium facility. And in April of 2019, First Baptist Forney held our first worship service in the new multi-purpose facility. Under the leadership of Dr. Jimmy Pritchard, our church has grown to nearly 7,000 members and is continuing to grow on a weekly basis. Throughout our long history, we have seen God change thousands of lives. For 150 years, First Baptist Forney has made an impact on this city. As long as we trust God like all those who came before us, not only will we continue to impact this city, but we will also change the world. First Baptist Forney, God has done great things.